Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are safe, I hope you are doing well, I hope you are catching RR as usual. Astuce Effect here with a brand new video to help you out to improve your trading skill. So in this new video, I'm gonna be breaking down some couples of trades that I took on EU by scalping. There's actually a first sell here that ran for 94R, and there's also a sell here ran for 63R, and also one buy that ran for 41R. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a blank chart. I'm going to break down those trades. I'm not going to break down the sell that ran for 63R. The only one I'm going to break is this one that ran for 94R, and this one ran for 41R. So only those two. This sell here that ran for 63R, I take profit much earlier somewhere here, so I don't have the position open. But this sell and this buy, both of them is still open till now. You can see my MT5 entry on the screen right now. If you've been following me for a while now, you may know that I only trade EU, I only scalp EU, and I go from the higher time frame to the lower time frame to get my entries. If you are not yet following me, make sure you follow me on Instagram. The name is AsusFX. You can get the link in the description of this video, and also make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like this kind of video breakdown and also everything about SMC. So let's get into it. So if I look at this, the first thing is I want to know what the higher time frame is doing. If I really want to hold my trade that long as the way you see here, I really want to know what the higher time frame is doing. According to the higher time frame, I can now get my trade and be able to scalp the get my trade on the lower time frame and hold it on the higher time frame analysis or take profit. So the first thing when I look at this, I can clearly see that we are really bullish. You see price is clearly bullish. Okay, so first thing, I look at my trend, I know we are bullish. We still bullish there, you can see. So this is the first thing. Second thing is I know price is bullish. Now I have to understand the market structure behind it. I mean the highs and the lows, and also I have to know about pricing. Pricing is just discount and premium. So the first thing is I know for a bullish trend we'll always have maybe a breakout structure to the upside before having a pullback, a breakout structure before having a pullback, which does actually happen again and again. So that's exactly what I'm gonna look here. I know when we are bullish, most of them I only buy. Like this one, I got this buy here. I should be getting even more buy. So is the buy that I actually get more often when I have maybe a bullish trend on higher time frame. But how did I get the sell that ran for pretty much 100R? So if you see well, you have to get the structure, which is this one, which is bullish. You have maybe this low. You see this low. This is the previous high. This low created this high. So we have this expansion to the upside, and now we are having a pullback. And this pullback created this low, and from this low, price went to create this high. By price creating this high, I know that we are bullish. We had something like this, we had something like this. From here, I want to see a massive pullback to the downside, or maybe a buy to the upside. So that's exactly what I'm looking at. I know price will have to give me a pullback at some point before maybe trying to buy to the upside. And once I know this, second thing, I always want to see price give me a pullback into a discount for a buy setup. Now if you look at this, price created this low that went create this high. Price did what? Price pulled back below the 50%. I usually use the 50% more, because if you see, price dropped, tap the 50% and gave some buy setup before actually dropping and going lower to maybe 90% here. So I want to see price going below the 50% and give me a buy setup, and that's exactly what I wanted to do here. I saw price buying created this high. So the first thing I wanted to see is I want to see price dropping below this 50%. Once price here, now I can maybe look for some sort of order block resting below this 50% so that I can maybe get a buy to the upside. This is the second thing. I know the only buy I can have is below the 50%. So it's below somewhere this low here. So I can only look for order block below this low so that I can maybe long to the upside. And the only order block I can see right now is this one. You have this order block here that price came, tap, and actually gave a buy reaction, and this is exactly where I got my buy. And the second order block I can have is maybe this low here. This low also has a valid order block. This order block somehow took liquidity and broke structure to the upside. So if you watch maybe my previous video about how to choose an order block, I want an order block that took liquidity and broke structure to the upside. And there's also some imbalance left here. So there is the reason for price to come maybe to this or even lower and give me the buy. And this order block also is valid for me is because is from here before we actually broke this major high to the upside, which is our breakout structure. So this is what I have on the higher time frame. I know we are gonna have a pullback, and the pullback has to be somewhere below this low, which is actually my 50% line. So now all I have to do is I go to my lower time frame, I look for my minor trend, and I scalp the 1 minute chart to get my trade setup. That's all I do. So right now I think my sell was actually from this area. All I have to do is I'll try to replay price somewhere here, and I'll show you the reason why I was trying to sell from this area. So when I look at this, I think I even had the buy here that before actually getting the sell, but let's just break down the sell here. So when I look at this, the first thing is I know now we are bearish. The high time frame is bullish, I know, but when I look at this time frame, I think the 5 minutes here, even the 1 minute, I think is even, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, so if I look at this 5 minute time frame or 1 minute time frame, we can see that we are bearish. The fact that I think we are bearish here is, you see price created this high, create this low, create this high, create this low, create this high, create this low. So from here I know we are going to have a pullback to some sort of order block here, create another high, so that we can create a new low to the downside. So if you see, this is just a bearish market structure. We have this, we have this, and we have this. So on this one, I know we are bearish, or at least we are bearish for the pullback to the downside to some sort of discount, so that I can maybe buy it later. So that's exactly what I have. So all I have to do is I get my order block here where price can come, tap, and give me my sell setup. And the order block I can have is, I can have this one is valid for me. The fact that this order block is valid is, we have this order block before the break of structure. You see the break of structure is here. This one is unmitigated. We have order block left behind that actually broke structure to the downside, which is actually valid for me. And this order block is already mitigated. If you see well, price came, tap it, and this one price didn't mitigate yet, but if price doesn't give me confirmation here, then I'll be able to maybe look for confirmation at this zone here. I cannot just ignore this area and wait for the one above. I don't do that. So most of the time, if I know I have two order block where most of them or both of them are valid, all I have to do is I set my alert at this zone, or when I scalp, actually I will try to buy the market to the upside if market gives me some sort of entry. So I buy, I bring price to this zone, and now I sell to the downside. So that's exactly what I do. So right now, let's see what happened. Price came here. From here, I want price to give me a change of character so that I can sell. And the change of character, I think even on the 1 minute you can see there, but most of the time I enter from the second time frame. So let me go to like the 30-second time frame, or yeah, let me just check the 30-second time frame. So from here I have to read this market structure to the upside. I know this, from this low to this high, this is the pullback. And if you know market structure, the pullback to the upside will always give you a bullish trend. So all you have to do is you have to get every single high and low, like actually the structure of the pullback, so that you can now get maybe the change of character you are looking for, and you can sell to the downside. So if I look at this is the last low created here before creating this high, and now price drop and broke this low here. From here, if I see, well, price gave me my change of character I'm looking for. You have this impulse, you have this pullback, you have this impulse. From here we have this. So from here price broke this low, and this low, by breaking it, I know now I got my change of character for the sell setup. Once I get my change of character, I need price to give me a pullback, and from the pullback I can now sell to the downside. Once price give me this change of character to the downside, all I want to do is I wait for price to give me a pullback so that I can sell to the downside. And the pullback has to be where it has to come to another block, unmitigated order block, so that I can enter from. So if I look at this, we can see that we have this order block which price actually mitigated already. We have this order block which price mitigated already, okay, and we have one order block here that price didn't mitigate it. This one price didn't mitigate it. But most of the time, if you have a over refined order block, like you see this one, I don't know how many pips is this one is, yeah, actually about almost 2 pips. But sometimes if you have a over refined order block, price never tap the order block, and that's exactly what actually pisses a lot of people. So what I do is, most of the time I just enter from liquidity. So from this video I'm going to take a simple liquidity concept for you guys. Like if you look well, I don't know if you know about flip zone. If you look at this candle, this one, it was actually a demand zone that failed, and the demand that failed actually can become a supply zone. And if you see, well, price drop and pull back, somehow mitigated and drop down. And from here, I know anyone that entered from this break and retest of this sort of how can I call it, this sort of breaker block, all price has to do is, or all, I know that anyone that sold from this breaker block, his stop loss or their stop losses are going to be above this high, above this candle's high, because this one is a breaker block, if they entered break and retest here, then price will come, or the stop loss is actually is above this high. So all I want to see is I want price to come, take them out, actually hit the stop losses and drop down. So that's all I want to see. And if I want to see this, my entry is simple. I just enter from any one stop loss, which is actually from this breaker block, and my own stop loss I put above the order block here. I put my stop loss above the order block. So from here I know if price hit the order block or not, I'm fine, because I know this liquidity has to be taken out. This sort of breaker block or the stop loss is gonna be taken out before price can give me that massive move to the downside. And from this I play, you see price came here, started selling, price tapped the breaker block and started giving some sort of reaction. I know people are entering from there, so I'm just waiting for my entry. Yeah, so from here they hit stop loss. I know people went short here. You see price started dropping, so they have an entry like this. So all price has to do is go take them out and drop down, and from taking them out, that's exactly where I get my entry. So my entry from here, my stop loss above the high, and I'm done. And where do I target as TP? My first TP I can target is the previous low, which is this one. By targeting this low here as my TP, I actually is based on this structure. You know that price is bearish, is more likely to break the low. If you see price gives you this pullback, gives you this pullback, and gives you this, more likely to give you actually expansion to the downside. So from this pullback, the next expansion is going to break the previous low. That's almost like 90% sure that price will take it. So my first tip is just this low. Once this low is taken, now I can now target my my final TP on the higher time frame. So that's how I got my entry. Let's see if it did play out. Let me try to extend this one, and let me go to 10 minutes so that I play it fast. See if price hit TP. So it took a while. So I end up hitting TP. So from here you see that price hit TP. So this was our first TP. This first TP was 22R. From this 22R, I think I took about 50% off, and the remaining now I can hold until the higher time frame take profit, which is the one below here. I think it is somewhere here. Yeah, 94, 96. Yeah, so somewhere here. Now let me try to remove this so that price can drop. Sure. So this was the entry. But if you see here, I bring down here, it was 100R plus. It's because every time when I enter on my my MT5, what I do is I always add some spaces, because because of the spread. So because of the spread, sometimes I add some spaces, yeah, something like this. So instead of making it too tight, I make it a bigger. I leave space for the spread. So that's how I got this first entry that ran for 94R or 96R, I don't know, 94R. So this first entry ran for 94R, and let's see how I got the buy from this area that actually end up running for almost 50R. So let me try to replay price exactly where the buy happened. Let's see how I got it. So from here is still the higher time frame analysis. I know that price will have to drop, tap this zone, and give me my buy setup. And from coming here, all I have to do is I go to my 1 minute chart and I look at whatever price is doing here. And how did I get this entry? All I have to do is I still have to look at market structure. Okay, I know price is dropping. I want to see price going from bearish to bullish, then I will start buying. If this doesn't happen, then I don't take the trade. It's easy. So if you really want to know if price going from bearish to bullish, all you want to know is you want price to break the previous high, which will be your chain of character, pull back, then you buy it, and you buy from maybe some sort of order block or something. So that's how you can get your entry. And if I look at this, all I have to do is I get all the highs and lows. We have this high that created this low, and this low somehow created this high. Let me put it well, this candle's high here. So from here we have this, we had a small pullback to create this low here. So this is the low created, and from this low we created this high. And if you look well, this low created this high, which is actually higher than the previous high. If I put my line here, give it a second. If I put this line here, you can see that this line is actually lower compared to this high here. So this high is this high somehow broke this previous high. From here I know this is my chain of character I'm looking for. From this chain of character, all I want to know is I want price to give me a pullback to maybe some sort of order block, and I buy to the upside. And where can I get the order block? I can just buy from this area. There's no problem. The entry style depends. If you want to enter from the order block, you can just enter from this, and your stop loss can just be below this low. And once again, sometimes I give the space for the spread. because if you put this, price can just kick you out and go to TP. So this was the buy I got from here, and my take profit. Let me just go to the higher time frame and let's see what happened. So this was the buy. Let me remove the replay mode. So it ended up running for 33R, but here I think it was about 40R. Yeah, it was pretty much about 40R, because my entry style is a bit different. The way I entered here, like this one, I only took the order block, but the way I entered from this is slightly different. So that's the thing. So that's actually how I was able to get those two position. This sell that ran for 94R, and this buy that ran for 33R. So these are the two trades I got them. Till now I still hold them. You can see the entry on the screen right now, and every single day I scalp, and that's how I get those entries. You can see that every single day. If I check like today's date, I think I ended the day with like 12R. If I come here, yeah, so there was this, I had this sell for 3R, I had this buy for 4R. I missed this sell. If you see me having a black stop loss, meaning I didn't take the trade, so I missed this sell, and I got this buy. This buy actually I sent to my Discord group, the scalping idea. I sent this buy, ran for 5R, and there was actually this sell that I actually sent this one as well. A sell ran for 10R, but this sell didn't mitigate. Price didn't tap the entry. There was this entry, price didn't tap it. Some members, they got the sell, but actually me, I didn't get it. If I come to Discord right now, this is my Discord. You see here, these are what the members are doing. They actually killing it. So if you see, this was the sell, this last sell here, this was the sell that I told you I sent to the Discord, but I missed my entry. The first entry was up here, I missed it, but the members, actually some of them, they got the entry. Like this guy got the sell to the downside. So yeah, that's it. And if I go to Asus FX scalping ideas, so this is the sell I sent, but we actually missed it. And the first buy I sent, it was actually this one here. So this is the confirmation we're waiting for, breakout structure and pullback. And if I come here, that's exactly what happened, and this is exactly my entry here. This is my entry on the MT5, you can see here. If you are really interested into learning the way I scalp right now, if you really want in-depth course, you can join my mentorship. The link in the description of this video. So you join, you learn, and I can actually mentor you through the process so that you can master this thing. And apart from that, you can also get access to the Asus FX scalping idea. I don't really share every day, but I share at least 1 or 2 times a week. So that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching the video. If you are really interested into this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram for any new update. Thank you.